The 99th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City delivered many unforgettable moments, but nothing compared to the breathtaking opening performance by Cynthia Erivo. As millions of viewers tuned in from across the world and thousands lined the streets of Manhattan, the air was filled with excitement, energy, and anticipation. Everyone knew this year's parade was going to be special, but no one expected the opening to feel so cinematic, so powerful, and so emotionally charged. And that's exactly what Cynthia Erivo delivered. The moment the broadcast began, the camera panned across the towering buildings of Manhattan, the massive parade balloons waiting in position, and the excited crowd wrapped in jackets and scarves for the chilly Thanksgiving morning. You could sense the electricity in the air. Then, without warning, the music started. Soft at first, then slowly building. And right there, in the center of it all, stood Cynthia Erivo, glowing with confidence, dressed in an outfit so elegant and striking that she looked like she stepped straight out of a movie scene. As soon as she opened her mouth to sing the very first note, the entire city seemed to pause. Her voice didn't just echo, it soared. Deep, soulful, rich, and perfectly controlled. Cynthia has always been known for her vocal strength, but this performance, on this particular morning, felt like something on another level. Every note carried warmth, sincerity, and gratitude, reflecting the true spirit of Thanksgiving. Her tone glided across the cold November air like sunlight breaking through clouds. Standing on the parade route surrounded by floats, dancers, and millions of watching eyes is not an easy place to perform. The pressure is enormous. But Cynthia didn't just handle it, she owned it. Her presence commanded attention. Every gesture, every breath, and every expression on her face told a story. She wasn't just singing, she was communicating, connecting with every person watching, whether they were inches away or thousands of miles across the country. As the performance built, the camera switched to wide aerial shots of the parade, capturing the moving crowd, the vibrant balloons, and the grandness of the event. Yet no matter the angle, Cynthia remained the heart of the moment. Her voice rang out as if the entire parade had been designed around her. And maybe in a way it had. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade always aims to open with something special, something unforgettable. And this year, they found the perfect artist for the job. The true magic of Cynthia's performance wasn't just the technical perfection of her singing, it was the emotion behind it. You could feel the gratitude in her words, the joy in her delivery, and the pride in representing such an iconic event. Thanksgiving is about unity, about coming together, and about celebrating the blessings of the year. Cynthia embodied all of that. Her voice felt like a warm embrace. A reminder of why this parade has remained a cherished American tradition for nearly a century. People in the crowd couldn't resist capturing the moment. Everywhere you looked, phones were up, recording, live streaming, and capturing this historic performance. Kids on their parents' shoulders pointed excitedly, older fans wiped away tears, and social media immediately exploded. Within minutes, Cynthia's performance clips were trending across platforms like TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Fans praised her vocals, her presence, and the way she transformed the opening into something magical and meaningful. The musicians behind her and the dancers around her added to the spectacle, but Cynthia remained the undeniable focus. Every transition in her song was executed flawlessly. She hit every note with precision, sustaining her vocals with effortless power. The high notes were especially breathtaking, clear, controlled, and overflowing with emotion. It was the kind of singing that gives you goosebumps even if you're just watching from your living room. The camera briefly cut to the crowd during some of her biggest moments. You could see faces lighting up, mouths dropping open, and people completely swept away by the performance. That's the effect Cynthia has. She doesn't just perform, she transforms the atmosphere around her. Her singing felt like a celebration, a blessing, and a unifying force. Even if you didn't know who Cynthia Erivo was before the parade, after watching this opening, you definitely knew. As the music continued, the entire scene looked like a scene from a Hollywood musical. The dancers were perfectly in sync, the production value was stunning, and the whole parade seemed to revolve around this single grand performance. Cynthia's voice blended beautifully with the orchestrated soundtrack behind her, creating a soundscape that felt rich, emotional, and majestic. And then came the climax. Cynthia leaned into her final notes with everything she had. Her voice climbed higher and higher, filling the city streets with resonance and passion. The final sustained note echoed like a church bell, powerful and pure. It was a moment that marked not just the start of the parade, but the official beginning of the holiday spirit. When she finished, the crowd erupted into cheers. A massive wave of applause, whistles, and joyful shouts poured across the street. Even through the television screen, you could feel the energy, the appreciation, and the love directed toward her. The hosts of the broadcast couldn't stop praising her, calling the performance spectacular, breathtaking, and the perfect way to start the parade. But the applause wasn't the only thing her performance sparked. Within hours, headlines began appearing online. Cynthia Erivo steals the show at the Macy's parade. An opening performance that defines excellence. A voice that lifted New York City. Fans and critics alike agreed. Cynthia Erivo had delivered one of the most memorable openings in the parade's long history. What made it even more special is the meaning behind it. Cynthia is more than a singer. She's a storyteller, an actress, a performer with deep emotional intelligence. And on this Thanksgiving morning, she gave the world a moment of unity, hope, and pure artistry. Her performance reminded viewers that no matter what's happening in the world, music has a way of bringing people together, even if only for a few minutes. As the parade continued with balloons, floats, Broadway casts, and marching bands, people were still talking about Cynthia's voice. Her opening didn't fade. It lingered. It set a standard, a tone, a level of excellence that carried through the entire event. It became the moment people would replay, share, and discuss throughout the day. Even after the parade ended, Cynthia's performance lived on across the internet, with fans commenting on her emotional delivery, flawless control, and unmatched stage presence. Some said it felt like she was singing directly to them. Others said it was the best opening Macy's parade had seen in years. Many simply called it iconic. And in every sense of the word, it was.
Cynthia Erivo didn't just open a parade. She created a moment that will be remembered for years. A moment that captured the warmth of Thanksgiving, the beauty of music, and the magic of New York City. She turned a tradition into a cinematic experience and gave millions a performance that felt like a gift. And that is why her opening at the 99th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade wasn't just a performance. It was history.